Hey, what's up? Let's do a little bit of math today. In this video, we're going to talk about evaluating variable expressions. So first, I want to start by defining what variables are. And so variables are either letters, sometimes symbols, depending on the situation, that represent numbers. And usually in math, we kind of have two big things that we do with variables. And so there's kind of a line in the sand. So we go with yellow to represent that sand there. And on one side, we have where variables can be any number we want it to be. On the other side, we have when variables must be one number, and then sometimes, depending on the equations you're dealing with, you could actually have numbers. So variable must be a specific thing. Now, what we're going to be doing is, by evaluating expressions, we're going to be on this side of the sand. So what we're going to have are expressions where we plug in a value for the variable. So I have to tell you x is equal to, or whatever the variable is, to some number. We will then use that number and evaluate an expression. So let's get to the process here. First thing we're going to talk about is just sort of use parentheses when substituting. And the reason why we want to do that is parentheses help us with our negatives. And you'll see a couple of examples where if you don't put parentheses, it can completely change the whole nature of the problem. 2, apply order of operations. All right? And that's it. So that's what we have to do. We're going to use parentheses when we substitute. We're then going to apply order of operations. And then actually I'm just going to kind of add a third one here, which is take your time and funnel your work. You might be wondering, what do I mean by funneling your work? We'll start off with a long line of numbers, and then we'll do a little bit of work, and then we'll do a little more work, and then we'll do a little more work, and finally we'll get to an answer. Notice how it's kind of forming a little funnel, and it's coming down to a point at the end where we'll finally have our final answer. That's the big mistake I see a lot of students make, is they try to do too much in their head, they don't take their time, and they don't funnel their work, and as a result, they get the wrong answer. But now that we've been equipped with the basic knowledge, let's make this happen. So let's look at some examples. First one is our basic example. We have negative 3x minus 5. Now, some students, when they see this, they're like, what am I supposed to do with negative 3x minus 5? This is where you have to be told what x is equal to. I'm saying x is 6. So we're going to take that 6 and we're going to plug it in there. Now again, take our time. And let's use parentheses, and at least rewrite it like that. Now we're going to work on funneling our work a little bit more. We'll use order of operations. Negative 3 times 6 has to happen first, so that's negative 18 minus 5. And then negative 18 minus 5 is negative 23. So notice again how I'm funneling my work here. Now, just for the sake of showing you it, let's now say we take the same problem, negative 3x minus 5, and this time we're going to let x equal negative 6. Here's where parentheses make our life really good. Some students who don't use parentheses forget what operation is happening right there. I've seen students who would subtract these two, but we're multiplying these two. And now, again, with the parentheses, we're going to end up getting positive 18 instead of negative 18, and now we're looking at 13 instead of negative 23. So again, the funneling of the work helps out a lot. All right, let's go to number 2. Number 2, switch over to blue. We're going to take this negative 2, and now with this one we have two variables. So we're going to take the negative 2 and we're going to put it in for both of them. again, parentheses are your friends. So let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier to see it. Oops, I don't want x. And there we go. All right, negative 2 squared plus 5 times negative 2 minus 14. So step 1, put it in. Step 2, start evaluating. So negative 2 squared. This is the same thing as saying negative 2 times negative 2. As a result, the negative 2's are going to become positive 4. So again, this is where parentheses help us out. Minus 10 minus 14. So notice how we're again working on funneling down our work. We'll work left to right. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. Minus 14, negative 20. Now, again, I want to do a quick aside, show you something else. Let's go back to purple. Let's say we had this problem. 2 times 2x squared, and we're saying x is equal to 4. Actually, yeah, let's leave it at 4. We have to be careful about how we approach this. When we substitute it in, it's now going to look like 2 times 4 squared like that. The mistake a lot of students make is they try to multiply the 2 and the 4 together. We're not supposed to do that first. First, we're doing the exponent part. So we have to do 4 squared, so that's going to be 2 times 16, and then that gives us 32. So watch out for exponents. That's how these problems can get really tricky, is by kind of having exponents and a coefficient. So you do the exponent first, then you multiply by your coefficient. All right, now back to the main problems. Let's take a look at this one. Let's go red again. All right, in this one, we have, again, 2 variables, but we have a fraction. Again, I just want to show you that even though it looks different, the process is no different. We're going to take that 5 and we're going to put it in wherever we saw x. So we'll have 5 plus 4 over 3 times 5 minus 1. That ends up giving us 9 in the numerator. And then here we'll end up getting 15 minus 1, which is 14. And so our final answer is 9 over 14. So again, even if we have like fractions, the process is the same. Use your parentheses, substitute in the variable valuable, or the value of the variable. Let's go with that. All right, finally, if we want to, we can kick this problem up a notch by looking at multiple variables. All right, but again, process doesn't change. We're going to take the variable, we're going to plug it in to the appropriate spot. So here, I have negative 2 goes into x twice, whereas my 3, let's do a different color for that, is going to go into y right there. Now, use my parentheses. So negative 2 times 3 plus 2 times negative 2. Dwindle down my work. So let's see here. I'll have negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Plus 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. And then negative 6 plus negative 4 is negative 10. Box it, walk away. So that is how we evaluate variable expressions. Again, just to kind of sum everything up, variables are letters or symbols that represent numbers. And when we're dealing with them in expressions, they can be any number we want them to be. And what we'll do is use parentheses to substitute that value in, apply order of operations, and take our time. Good luck on your practice, and let me know if you have any questions.